ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। ओम गुरुदेव भगवान शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ कैलाशपति महाराज की जय। भगवान व्यास जी महाराज की जय। शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय। स्वामी चिन्मयानंद भगवान की जय। स्वामी दयानंद भगवान की जय। स्वामी प्रबुद्धानंद भगवान की जय। स्वामी शुद्धानंद भगवान की जय। साध्वी आनंद ज्योति जी की जय। माता पिता की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता verse number chapter 4 and we are doing verse number 42. And in verse number 42 Bhagavan concludes this chapter after explaining all the karmani akarma darshana, knowledge of non-action in action, all of which we have seen in the last classes, in the last verses, as said by Bhagwan and explained by Swamiji. See, I just try to explain what Swamiji have explained here, just repeating what Swamiji have said, and I am trying to explain it to myself. I am not trying to explain it to anybody. If by any chance you are able to listen and you are able to grasp something, it is God's anugrah only. And if you want to listen everything in detail, then you can call me or message me. I will provide you Swamiji's direct YouTube channel where you can listen Swamiji in great detail and what explanations he gave. He is the master, the true teacher, the true Siddhanti which we have discussed in this. See, a right teacher is what is required for right knowledge. For this knowledge, to correct this error, we need a person who has already corrected his error. And he is one with the whole. And Swami Prabodhanandji is very clear about this topic. So in case you want to hear all this direct from Swamiji, his YouTube channel is there with Swami Upanishads with Swami Prabodhanand, and he is giving lectures on Bhagavad Gita. If you want, you can just write a note here. I will forward the link of this channel. He is the master. I have been hearing him for last almost 2-3 decades now, 2.5 decades. What a wonderful, clear clarity he gives. And this is written by Swami Dayananda, my Guruji's Guruji. Why I am telling all this? Because in this it is explained that we need a right teacher. The importance of right teacher, the importance of a right driver is required to reach a destination. Here there is nothing to reach, nothing to achieve, nothing, no change will happen. So people get confused. अरे हमारे साथ तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, अच्छा कुछ नहीं हुआ. That means the proper knowledge is, you haven't got the proper knowledge, the right knowledge. So your attitude is 100% there. But if you will hear it from Swamiji, you will get 100% correction in the error. Because there is nothing to achieve. Achievement is only of knowledge. And as you get the correct knowledge, so you get liberation. The error is corrected and the fear is gone. Fear from snake, as soon as you understand it as rope, the fear is gone. As soon as you understand this Shastra from a right teacher, the error is gone. And there is no time gap between attaining the knowledge and getting moksha. There is no time gap. It is simultaneous, not even simultaneous. Recognizing oneself as the whole, all the problem is gone. In the last verse, Bhagavan has very clearly explained Karmani Akarma Darshana in this chapter. Because of the knowledge of non-action, inaction, the one is liberated. And for that, Bhagavan have detailed explained everything, all what is required, how it is, how it is to be understood, how a question should be put, who is the person who is rightful for the knowledge, the right teacher, the right question to the right teacher, and then how should a student be, what qualities a student should have. All this we have seen in this verse, in this chapter number 4. So Bhagavan is going to conclude this chapter today. We will also with him be able to, I don't know how much I have been able to explain. This chapter is called Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga. Gyan Karma Yoga. Gyan Karma Sannyas Yoga. We have gone through who the sannyasi is, why there is no requirement for a grahastha to run and become a sannyasi. Being a grahastha, he can attain knowledge. This is what we did. And this briefly Swamiji is going to explain, which we will see in this verse number 42. Here Now after explaining all this, Bhagavan concludes the chapter by urging Arjuna to take to action with an attitude of karma yoga, which will lead him to knowledge. See, all grasthas have to do karma as karma yoga. We have discussed this many times. All karmas done as an offer to God in a prarthanatmak way, it become karma yoga. And karma yoga leads to antakaran shuddhi. All karmas done as karma yoga leads to antakaran shuddhi. Antakaran shuddhi. See, these are steps, we are talking like a steps, but there is no step actually. Actually there is no step. This first, then first, this first, this first. No, it is not like that. Just keep on doing your karmas as offering to God. God gives you prasadam. Accept it in right attitude. Your karmas become karma yogas, and your karma yoga makes you vivek buddhi, gives you vivek buddhi, antakaran shuddhi. Antakaran shuddhi leads to vivek buddhi. By vivek buddhi you come to know that all these phalas, karma phalas doesn't have any value, whether sukha or dukkha, whatever is given is all have no value. And then you attain vairagya, and then you get self-knowledge from the Shastras, from a right teacher. And when you get knowledge with right questions, you attain Brahma Vidya, which liberates you from all the Dvaitam you are, considering yourself as the body, as the doer of all karmas. With this, Bhagavan says, Tasmad jnana sambhutam hastastham jnanasinatmanah chitvenam sanshayam yogam Adishthito Bharatah. Tasmat, therefore, ajnana sambandha, born of ignorance, lack of discrimination, harthasham, rooted in the mind, enam, this atmana, about the self, samyam, doubt, jnana asina, by the sword of knowledge, chitva, slaying, yogam, karma yoga, leading to knowledge, atishtha, takes to, follows on, bharata, O Bharata, Arjuna, uttishta, get up. Therefore, hey Arjuna, slaying with the sword of knowledge, with the sword of knowledge, this doubt about the self, which is born of ignorance, which is rooted in the mind, get up and take yoga, karma yoga. Bhagavan says to Arjuna as Bharata, meaning one who is born in the family of Bharata, and asks him to stand up and take to the life of yoga. This is what is said to everybody, all grasthas, everybody. Take up and take a life of yoga. Here yoga means karma yoga, which leads to jnana, knowledge. When one lives a life of karma yoga, the knowledge will face no obstruction. Therefore Bhagavan says to Arjuna, you have been listening to me all this time, now take to karma yoga, through which you will gain the knowledge that is liberation. In other words, since you should live a life of karma yoga, through which you will gain the knowledge that is liberation, In other words, since you should have lived life of karma yoga for a length of time while pursuing jnana, do it as yogam adhishtha, atishtha. Yogam atishtha, do it. We have seen that a person does not become a sannyasi just by giving up all duties. See, no one can become a sannyasi by giving up duties. No sannyasi, no one can become a sannyasi by giving up duties. Even though there is a lifestyle called sannyasi. There is a lifestyle of sannyasa. But that doesn't come like this with so ease. A sannyasi is the primary sense, is one who gives up all activities by knowledge. By knowing that he is not a doer of action. Thus, Krishna uses the word therefore, tasmata. Here, Krishna says, therefore take to karma yoga, so that you can gain the knowledge that will enable you to become a sannyasi. The one whose doubts have been slain by knowledge. Through the yoga that is knowledge. Having given up the doership, kartatva, the sannyasi performs no action in terms of knowledge, even though the person apparently does action. You have to give up the doership, the kartatva. Krishna has already told Arjuna in verse number 39 of this chapter that he had to destroy whatever doubt he had. He did this by describing samyasthama, a person who doubts himself, who doubts himself, the Shastra and everything else. The Shastras are talking about oneself only, nothing else. There is no object about which there is a description. It is only talking about the self. The whole Shastra is talking about the self. So doubting on the Shastra is doubting on oneself. Such a person, Krishna says, perishes, meaning that he destroys the self. If you doubt yourself, then you destroy yourself. Therefore, in the present verse, he tells Arjuna that the doubt in his heart, born of ignorance, must be slain. And this doubt is because of ignorance. Because of ignorance, you are taking this body as yours. And once this doubt is gone, this doubt has to go through Shastras. Have faith in Shastra. Doubt is the enemy that resides in the mind. Ignorance, ajnana result in lack of discrimination, aviveka. One's doubt about the self is born of ignorance and lack of discrimination. Therefore, Krishna says, and where is this doubt, this enemy that can destroy you? Arjuna, this enemy is not outside you. Unlike Duryodhana, who is outside you, this enemy, Mr. Doubt, is inside you. In your heart, it is hritastha. In your mind, the doubt, sanshaya, has entered into your mind and is rooted here. Despite of 100 times saying that you are not body, you are not this physical form, you will again come, oh Swamiji, I am not this form. But when I came from Delhi, where did you come from, Delhi? doubt is born because of your lack of discrimination. It is not born of simple ignorance of fact, but is born of lack of discrimination, absence of discrimination. Here is absence of Atma, Anatma, Viveka, which means that there is no vichara, there is no inquiry done about life, and therefore everything is subject to doubt. Doubt can be about anything, but the doubt referred here is about oneself. And this doubt is to be slain, is to be cut through the sword of knowledge. But to slay something, one requires a sword. The sword in this context is in form of knowledge. By this sword of knowledge, one should destroy doubt about oneself. The doubt that is in the mind, born of ignorance and non-discrimination. Slay that doubt with the sword of knowledge. It clarifies Bhagavan's point. Shankaracharya ji defines jnana in his commentary as the clear vision that destroys defects such as sorrow, delusion, and so on. Clear vision here refers to discrimination, viveka. Viveka between Atma and Anatma. Anatma and Atma. The being is Atma. The one who is one with Paramatma is Atma. The one who is considering itself as body is not Atma. Atma is one with the Paramatma. By ignorance, because of ignorance, considering itself as the body, mind and senses. Because of this ignorance, Paramatma is considering because of ignorance. The real and unreal knowledge alone is the sword that can destroy all the one's defects, dosha, such as shoka, sorrow, moha, delusion, raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes, krodha, anger, and so on. So many problems due to ignorance, considering oneself as this form. Because the doubt is in your own heart, born of your lack of discrimination between the real and unreal. You alone can destroy it. See, no one else can destroy your ignorance. They can come and guide you, tell you. Even Shastra is only the Pramana. Shastra only points out the ignorance. You have to correct it. The self has to correct the ignorance. No one else. Your doubt does not belong to anyone else, even though others may have the same doubt. Even though all others sitting here may have the same doubts. What is meant here is that the doubt that is in your heart, in your mind, born of your self-ignorance, can only be slain by your gaining self-knowledge. You have to gain the self-knowledge. And this knowledge can only be gained by first taking to the life of Karma Yoga. Nobody can get knowledge straight away. If he has been going through the process, may reach the destination in this life at right this time. But then this can only be gained by first taking to the life of Karma Yoga. Atmana, here with reference to doubt, does not have usual sense of genitivity or possessive case here. That is, it does not mean one's own swasya, since Krishna says that the doubt is in one's own heart, ratastha, therefore the expression Atmana Sanchayam means a doubt whose subject matter is Atma and not one's own doubt. For example, the expression knowledge of Gita is also in genitive case, but it does not have the sense of possession that the book of Rama means Rama's book. Not understood? The doubt is about oneself. It is about oneself. The self is not the doubt. And this doubt is subject matter is Atma. For example, the expression knowledge of the Gita is also in genitive case. The book of Rama, it is not Rama's book. In other words, it does not mean the Gita's knowledge. In the knowledge, it is that the knowledge does not belong to Gita, rather than knowledge of Gita, meaning the knowledge for which the Gita is the subject matter. Just as knowledge of electronics means the knowledge for which electronics is the subject matter, same is the subject matter. Atma is the subject matter. In these examples, in the use of Atmanaha, in this verse, the genitive case is used in the sense of the object karma, rather than to indicate the possession. This usage, which is called Karmani Shashti, in common to many languages including English and Sanskrit. Therefore, Atma Jnanam means knowledge of the Atma. It is knowledge of the Atma, knowledge for which the subject matter is Atma. Similarly, Atmana Samchayam, doubt about the Atma. It is doubt about the Atma, means a doubt for which the Atma is the object, Vishaya. That is why it is said, the Vishaya should be kept in mind. The Vishaya is the self. Myself, I am the topic. Topic is nowhere, nothing other than me is the topic. I am the topic. Doubts about the self create all kind of problems. Therefore, it should be put to rest. This doubt can only be put to rest by slaying it with the sword of knowledge, for which you must take to karma yoga. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Uttishtha yogam attishtha. Come on, stand up, Arjuna. Shankaracharya ji also explained that the doubt being discussed, that which is the cause for one's own destruction, following up on what Krishna has said in verse number 39 of this chapter, the one who doubt perishes. For the doubter, samyasthatma, sanshaya atma, there is neither this world nor any other world, nor is there any happiness for that person. Since doubt is the cause of your own destruction, you should not allow it to remain in your heart. Only by gaining self-knowledge you can destroy it. For this you must live a life of karma yoga and pursue the knowledge that completely destroys the doubt. Therefore, with Shraddha you should take to yoga and pursue the knowledge. Shraddha is very important. We have discussed this. Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. This fourth chapter is called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, because its subject matter is yoga, is sannyasa. the renunciation of karma, leaving all karmas. Action through jnana. There is only one way of leaving karmas, renouncing karma. It is through jnana, knowledge. Sannyasa here is not in terms of the lifestyle of renunciation of all duties to pursue this knowledge. Sannyasa here means give up action by knowledge that the self is not the doer. With this knowledge, one performs no action even when actions appear to take place. Karvanapi kurvanapi na karoti. Kurvanapi na karoti. The one who is able to see non-action in action has given up karma, because there is no longer any doership for the person. This is very important. To understand Jnana Karma, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, must understand completely and clearly that there is non-action in action. The one who is able to see non-action in action has given up karmas. In this chapter we saw that by knowledge of Atma as non-doer, akarta, karma is given up. When doership, kartatva resolved in the wake of knowledge, action, karma, along with everything connected with action, the karakas also resolve. Everything is resolved. When karma resolves, when karta is resolved, karma is resolved. Karakas are resolved. They are sublated, negated in terms of reality. The karakas, you may recall, are denoted by 6 grammatical declensions, excluding the genitive case. They are the kartas, the agent, karma, the object, karana, the means of instrument, apadana, the source from where the action is produced, and adhikarana, the location, adhikarana, the location of the action. When the knowledge is gained, the karta or the agent of action is understood to be mithya. The agent of action being mithya, the action itself is mithya. The instrument and the purpose of action are mithya. From where the action take place is mithya, and location of the action is also mithya. In fact, everything becomes mithya. Or the person who has the vision of non-action in action. Everything becomes mithya for the person who understands, who gets the vision of non-action in action. Despite of continuation of karmas, doership, doing, despite of doing karma, he is non-doer. As mentioned earlier, the word yoga in this title of the Gita chapter means subject matter. The first chapter was called Arjuna Vishada Yoga, indicating that the subject matter was Arjuna's sorrow. It is everybody's sorrow, ji. Not only Arjuna. Attachment is everybody's sorrow. To take yoga, it is usual sense would absurd, since no one wants to practice sorrow. Similarly, the second chapter entitled Sankhya Yoga is a chapter having knowledge. Sankhya or Jnana Yoga. Second chapter was Jnana Yoga as its subject matter. The third chapter was Karma Yoga. Karma as its subject matter. Here in the fourth chapter, the subject matter is giving up the karma by knowledge. Krishna completed this chapter by telling Arjuna to stand up and take up karma yoga in order to ultimately gain knowledge. See, without Without karma yoga, Arjuna couldn't have attained the knowledge. To attain self-knowledge, one has to go through karma yoga. The fourth chapter ends with the same words given like other chapters in Gita, the meaning of which we have already seen. Om Tat Sat. Here this chapter ends, the chapter of Jnana Karma Yoga. All karmas. All karmas are given up in Jnana Karma Sannyas Yoga. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishastu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Karma Sansaya Yoga Nama Chaturtha Adhyaya. Om Tat Sat. O Brahman is the Brahman is the only reality. Thus ends the fourth chapter. Om Tat Sat means the Brahman is the reality. There is nothing other than Brahman. There is nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing other than Brahman. Brahman is the only reality, the truth. Thus ends the fourth chapter called Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, having the topic of renunciation of action through knowledge. In Bhagavad Gita, which is in the form of dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjuna, which is the essence of the Upanishad, whose subject matter is both knowledge of Brahman and yoga. So this is how we have completed the fourth chapter by Bhagavan as Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Now we will see fifth chapter. Fifth chapter is plain Sannyasa Yoga, topic of renunciation. The fourth chapter, which is concluded with Krishna's advice to stand up and take up Karma Yoga. So in fifth chapter, but by saying this, Krishna has clearly clarified not to run away from karma, not to run off to the Himalayas to take up lifestyle of sannyasi. So this we will see in fifth chapter. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Tomorrow we will take up the introduction of fifth chapter.